Morning, Atlanta's top educator announces he is planning to stick around a little while longer. The Atlanta Board of Education approving a one-year contract extension for Superintendent Dr. Brian Johnson. Dr. Johnson was selected last summer as the district's fourth superintendent in 10 years. And after years of turnover, he agreed to a 3-year contract. Board members voted unanimously to extend the contract by 1 year through July of 2028. So in a statement, Dr. Johnson said in part, quote, "I am incredibly grateful to the Atlanta Board of Education for their continued trust and confidence in the work we've begun together. As a community of believers, we will remain focused on getting back to the basics and improving student achievement."